was kind of a rough one today, dude.
That went down a lot faster than I expected.
That was rough.
Oh, there. Well, welcome back to another episode of Two Drunk Guys and a Football Podcast. It's your boy and host, Skinny Domestic.
And Marcus the Hammer Mary.
So, had to drink out of the horn because the Vikings lost.
Yeah, we did. My boy Baker Mayfield is looking like college Baker, rookie Baker. He's looking good.
How are you feeling about that loss?
Well, if you really want to know, Skinny Domestic, typical Vikings loss. You know, being a fan for so long, you just watch the games and you can't be mad. You just are like, yeah, it's fucking the Minnesota Vikings. Like, your expectations have to be tampered. So, like, once we're good, you're just like, yeah, but we're gonna fuck it up. Once we're bad, we're like, yeah, that's what I expect. So it's kind of, you gotta keep the emotions out of it and just understand the franchise.
I told you the flip-flopping of one-score game was going to happen this year.
Well, it's, yeah, sure.
11 last year, they'll have like 3 this year. So it's...
I mean, it happened the year before.
Yeah.
The defense, I felt like, played better for the most part-ish. Mike Evans did have a touchdown, and Baker did look decent, but
Baker's also playing like he doesn't give a fuck, which is the best Baker.
Oh, 100%.
The best Baker that doesn't give a like that fucking like the one that run that just sealed the game basically, where he fucking ran like 4 yards, and then stiff armed the fuck out of that DB and was like, and then he was cussing at him like he said something. I watched the video today. He was like. Gain some weight, bitch boy, or some shit like that when he was walking back. But yeah, when Baker doesn't give a fuck, he's playing decent.
Yeah, supposedly Rashad White said that they knew our defensive calls.
Yeah,
that was
halftime.
Really weird.
Yeah, halftime Baker said that he knew what they were calling. As a quarterback, I mean, you should kind of know based off of reading the defense. I don't know. I don't know how much. Like maybe you looked over the sideline a couple times, saw that when they did this was like a Mike Blitz or something. I don't know, but like
whatever they think they know or whatever. Like, okay, it's not like they just stomped us. It was literally like what?
It was like
20 to 17.
Yeah, it was a 3-score game. But then did you guys fumble in the red zone? I think you guys had
we had a fumble.
Yeah.
Kirk threw a pick, which is not on Kirk's fault. KJ Osborne had it and didn't fight for it. Like, it was in his hands and the DB ripped it out of his hands.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame that on Kirk.
But the fumble was in the red zone, wasn't it?
Both of them were in the red zone.
Like, that just... Yeah, you can't do that if you're going to win games. Can't.
The offense... Here's the thing. I blame that on them not going and playing preseason. I think that you need to at least get your starters out and moving around and just getting... If it's a drive or 2 drives...
That's how I feel about every team that didn't play their starting team. Because if you look at it, I'm pretty sure there was like 11 teams didn't start their starting quarterbacks at least.
Yeah.
And majority of those teams...
Looked terrible.
Week 1. Yeah.
There was a lot of bad football played week 1.
Yeah. Especially the first half. Like, it was bad all around.
Yeah, so...
Going real quick, because it's a football podcast. Dude, Perry is 1-2. Like, high school, Perry High School is 1-2, but they're actually scoring touchdowns. Like, remember, like, the drought where, like, they went so many games, like, first off, they couldn't win a game in, like, 3 years or whatever. Yeah. And then, let alone not win a game, they couldn't score touchdowns. They're putting up, like, 14-plus points a game now. They're still losing some of them, but, like, they're staying a little competitive.
I've been told that the best of Perry football is like in 5th and 6th grade right now, and that's when they're going to have their next.
See, but I don't know. See, I don't know how much I agree with that because
that's what they say.
5th, 6th, 4th, like that grade for when I was in school, we were dominant as shit. But then once you get to high school, things change.
Your grade was really good though, but think about all the big guys that didn't play.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Is things like that happen where people are going to dwindle out, people aren't going to play, they're going to change. They play Storm Lake this week, who is also 1-2, but I think Storm Lake's going to beat them based off of what I was looking at some things. But, they're doing okay. No big games. Then this past week, Iowa beat ISU, unfortunately.
Surprise, surprise.
Dude, Iowa State's just that team's like, we're going to really make you feel really depressed. We're really in at the end of the game, making you have some hope, and then just hit the bed. 4th and 1. You need a touchdown to score. 4th and 1, you're on a drive. Your team has not played well at all. You haven't run the ball really well at all. And you try to hurry up and run the ball and get stuff like 3 yards behind the line. Fucking terrible play calling. Pisses me off.
I mean, with all their guys that they have out because of the sports gambling and stuff like that, it really...
I would, as a coach, 4th and 1, unless I have, like, Derrick Henry, Garrett Blount, Marshawn Lynch at my running back, I'm probably not running the ball. Like, set run. I'm going to do a pass play. If my quarterback's got to scramble, my quarterback scrambles.
I do fullback dive every single time.
Something like that. I'm not doing that. That was just bad, Matt Campbell. Man, he's turned the program around, but he's done a lot of questionable shit. Colorado's officially 2-0. They play Colorado State this week. No one gives a shit. Probably, I think they're like 20, almost like 23-point favorites. So nobody cares about that. Looking more forward to the next weeks where they play Oregon and USC. The only top 25 matchup was
the Oregon game. I heard was crazy.
Yeah, the Oregon game. I bet Oregon to cover -6. But I was watching the Bama game mostly because I wanted Texas to upset Alabama. And that game was good. But so I was like going back and forth with that game. And as an Oregon fan, I ended up just staying on the Texas game. I was like, fuck, I can't watch this anymore. They're pissing me off. And then Texas goes to the commercial. And I go back. And Oregon's up 8 points all of a sudden. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I guess there's a pick 6 when they were only up.
So I have a good story about that. So, friend of the podcast, Jake, in our fantasy league, he came in to work today and he was talking to me. So he had a free bet at MGM or one of them, free $10 bet. He had a seven game parlay. He bet Colorado to win, Texas to beat Alabama, Oregon to beat Texas A&M, and like a couple different teams. He said that he hit on all of them. The Alabama game got over and Texas won. And he said that he was sitting there at the Oregon Texas A&M game. Yeah, that's who it was, right?
I don't remember who they played.
I think it was Texas A&M. One of them, whoever Oregon was playing. But he said he was sitting there and he's like, "Fuck, I lost." He's like, "I lost the bet. Like I was gonna win like $440." He said he's going to the pool table and he turns around and he said that he saw the pick 6 and he said he was fucking hyped. He was sitting there throwing fireball shots to everyone. He was going off, and I was like, yeah. He won on a free $10 bet. He won like $440.
Yeah, people get lucky like that sometimes. Somebody did I saw BetMGM. It's crazy how all these things happen on BetMGM. It's kind of funny. Free $10 bet. Somebody did the spreads for last week. Hit them all. $81,000. I wish someday.
That'd be awesome.
So Ole Miss, Tulane, the only top 25 team game last week. Ole Miss was ranked 20. Tulane was 24. Ole Miss won. Probably not. I think they knocked Tulane out of the top 25 now. Miami upset number 3 Texas A&M. Miami is a powerhouse.
Oh, so Miami took Texas A&M. So then it wasn't Texas A&M.
It was Texas Tech. No,
Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know whoever Oregon.
I don't remember who they played. Miami's quarterback, 5 touchdown passes, just looked elite. Miami, they're a solid team.
Miami back?
No, maybe. I don't know. Not like the old days. Washington upsets number 19 Wisconsin, which I was like, Wisconsin's ranked. Washington has been a good Pac-12 team, so I think Washington moving up now is good. And then again, Texas upsetting Bama. I wanted that to happen. I was so happy that it happened. Texas
is kind of reverting back to having a lot better players. It feels like Texas peaked, and then they didn't have anything. Like you had like Colt McCoy, who was like college like crazy good, and then you had like Vince Young, and then after that, there really wasn't anyone crazy that came from Texas.
Yeah. Well,
you got Bijan now, the boy.
Well, the running back Johnson too with the Bears. Like he's talented. Then they've had some talented players. Johnson was a wide receiver. I don't know if he even made a team this year. I'd have to go look. No idea. But yeah, Texas is back. This proves I was worried because Texas kind of has been down in the drain the last couple of years. If they'd be able to handle the SEC now that they're moving there, beating Bama just kind of solidified that maybe they can't hang now. So
I think Archie Manning, once he comes and he plays, he'll probably play next year, won't he?
Yeah, depending on what Ewers does.
Yeah,
is the big thing.
I think he's going to be a star. I mean, he's got pedigree blood, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, when you're
a Manning,
Yeah, when you're Manning and learning from.
Imagine your uncle, your two uncles, and your grandpa all being in the NFL. Like, you are destined for greatness.
Yeah.
If you don't make it to the NFL and you're not a Super Bowl winning quarterback, you're a disgrace to the Manning family. Really, honestly, that's how high the bar's set.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you got some. Because he's only going to be compared. I think if he does make it to the NFL, they're always going to talk about this is what Eli and Peyton did. Can he live up to the million expectations? He's always going to be compared. Moving on to NFL news, there was a lot. I mean, we've had signings, we've had injuries, we've had crazy game score. Like people winning. Just so Chris Jones finally signs that extension.
Good for the Chiefs. Very, very good for the Chiefs.
Well, their run defense did not, even though Montgomery only had like 70 yards up the middle, he was kind of doing it in a sense like at will. Like when they wanted to run down the middle, they were able to, and it showed that with Chris Jones not there. You get a guy like Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, those actual good running better than David Montgomery running backs. Nick Chubb, those guys would,
eat that team up.
Yeah, eat that team up without Chris Jones.
Gibbs did good too against them.
Gibbs was more of the outside running. Yeah. Like Chris Jones wouldn't have much factor there. But yeah, I think Chris Jones finally getting signed. That worried me because he was talking about till week 8, but the Chiefs losing really set that to happen.
Oh yeah,
they were like our defensive line. It did not perform well.
That team,
despite everything that happened on the offensive end.
But that team, like Travis Kelce getting in there will be good.
Yeah,
I think that they should go out and get a piece.
They need to go
get someone cheap.
They need to go get Mike Evans.
It's so expensive, and that team. Here's the thing, though. Like
T. Higgins,
most
T. Higgins
people,
is going to be
most people I'd say pay the wide receivers and do that. But dude, it's freaking Patrick Mahomes. Like he showed last year, he could do a Juju Smith-Schuster. Who Juju at this point in his career is lucky to be a solid wide receiver 3.
Go get T. Higgins.
You don't think the Bengals will pay him?
No.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to be a free agent.
Really?
100% guaranteed. If he will be a free agent, he's not going to sign with the Bengals. He wants to be a wide receiver 1.
The Bengals would never trade the Chiefs T. Higgins.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that would be awesome.
Yeah.
If T. Higgins was with the Chiefs, that'd be awesome.
Then Jason Peters signs with the Seahawks. 41-year-old Jason Peters.
I wanted the Vikings to sign him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, as an Eagle, I love the man, but it's like he didn't look great when he was with the Bears. He was still productive, but he wasn't. Clearly he's never going to be the same prime Jason Peters. He's a very good tackle still, and again, it's hard to get tackles. But man, is 41 years old. It'll be interesting to see how he goes against Bosa, actual, these top DNs.
People, you can do that sometimes. Andrew Whitworth, remember, he was playing in his 40s or close to it.
But he looked a lot better in terms of, his last couple years compared to, Jason Peters, I guess. In terms of, Peters looks like he's gained weight. He's, hasn't really, clearly he's probably working out, but, he just doesn't look like he's in shape.
Jason Peters, Hall of Famer?
Yes.
First ballot?
I would say so, but he probably won't be. You'd have to look at when he retires, what kind of...
he was very dominant.
Yeah. Well, he's got the Super Bowl. Yeah. So I think he probably deserves to be. But again, it also comes down to who also is going to be in his retired class once he does retire and who's eligible, because that makes a huge difference on if you're going to be a first ballot or not, unless you're like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like those guys. No other big signings that I saw, at least.
No. Let me see if I have anything.
Do you have any signings?
No, just sadness.
Yeah, sadness. So then we move on. Let's just move on to the injuries. We'll get out the no one really cares about injury. Jack Conklin, Browns offensive tackle.
I care.
Oh,
it's a big deal to that Browns team.
But no one cares about it as much as other guys. He tore his ACL. I think it was his ACL and MCL.
That's a hit to that offensive line, though.
Yeah. Nick Chubb's still going to be fine.
Nick Chubb stock going down.
No,
Trade him away
no,
now.
No, it's not.
Trade him away now.
Oh, my goodness. Then you have J.K. Dobbins, Achilles. Man cannot catch a break. Man cannot stay healthy.
J.K., you're the most talented running back that I've ever seen to do nothing.
Pretty much.
You are. Like, your body isn't taken care of. And you know what I blame that on, too? That man wasn't in training camp. He wasn't in football shape. He sat out the whole year trying to get a contract. That's what happens once these players do this. And I get it. You got to get paid. You got to get your money. I respect that. But your body isn't in game shape. You go out there and you try to do stuff that you normally could do, and you just screw your body up.
Yeah, and now the Ravens are going to rely on Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. They have Melvin Gordon and somebody else. I don't think they're going to go and sign anybody like Fournette or anything. I think at this point you can run it with Gus Edwards and Justice Hill, really. I mean, they've been there for so fucking long, it seems like.
Lamar Jackson can take all the carries he wants.
Greg Dulcich for the Broncos, tight end. He has a hamstring issue, so he's most likely going to be out for a while, along with your boy Deontay Johnson.
I saw his was a knee thing, wasn't it?
Well, his was hamstring. They said
really
hamstring.
I watched that game on Sunday Ticket Sunday, which let me tell you, I watched it and I saw him hit his knee, and I thought it was a knee thing once he got out.
Maybe it was a knee, but it's been labeled as a hamstring.
So it probably was a hamstring. Also, Pat Freiermuth is hurt too.
Yeah.
Not good, dude. That's been my tight end for like 3 years.
Allen Robinson's getting some love though from Kenny Pickett.
He is. He's playing slot. Actually, Allen Robinson, maybe
fourth quarter, he had like almost 60 yards. Like he had all of his stuff in the fourth quarter. I know they were down and had to throw the shit out of the ball, but 4 quarters with Allen Robinson, which I don't think Allen Robinson is bad. I think the situation with the Rams was not good for him. But
do you think that whole offense is a buy low right now in fantasy or anything?
Yeah.
Because, like Najee Harris, 4 carries in the whole game. Like,
yeah, and then Warren's coming out here and being explosive. Yeah, clearly it's only one game. Don't overreact. I think Kenny Pickett's still going to have a good season.
That's what you should name the podcast. Don't overreact.
Don't overreact. But yeah, our fantasy quarter now is just don't overreact.
Don't overreact. It's fine.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I do like the Allen Robinson. I picked him up. I was lucky enough to get him, so I'll take it.
You get him in our league or my league or
dude,
you don't even know.
I don't even know anymore with how many league. Like I know I'm only doing 3, but like just trying to keep track of everything. I'm just like fuck.
I am glad though that we're all in the same leagues. Like so
it does. It makes things easier. Yeah,
that's my new stipulation for getting into leagues. There better be 2 spots so me and Skinny can be in it so we can talk about it.
And then the big one, Rodgers, tearing the Achilles.
I have never felt so bad for a fan base in my life. Because that's just, you didn't even get to see Rodgers be Rodgers. You had 4 plays of Rodgers in there, and what do you blame it on? Is it the field?
Which a lot of people say the turf field.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any give, so that's one thing. There's people like Messi who have so much power and ability that dude will not play on turf. So when he goes and plays at a stadium, they have to have grass fields, or like they have to go and get a grass field to put over the turf or whatever, because he will not play on turf. And what was it? Some football place that has turf. They had like soccer game. I think it was because of Messi or this, but like they had soccer happening there or something, or the Olympic or FIFA, whatever the shit that's going to go on for soccer. The stadiums that are hosting them, if you have turf, you have to have grass. Like it. I know it's a little bit more money to spend, but you guys are $1 billion fucking, like, it's $1 billion at this point.
Non-profit $1 billion. They can afford it.
Yeah, you can afford the grass maintenance at this point. Like, give the players what they want. I know turf is nice.
Well,
maybe for practicing in terms of just...
It's better for football.
Yeah.
Why is it good for football that Aaron Rodgers gets hurt? That's bad for football. Then you have to watch worse football with, and I think Zach Wilson will be okay. But I think that he'll be okay. I mean, dude, that team won last year and almost made it. They were like a couple games shy of the playoffs with what they had last year.
Yeah.
And I think Rodgers coaching him and stuff like that. They should probably bring in a veteran leadership, whatever that means. Whether it is Joe Flacco, whether it is
Nick. If you don't want the leadership, do not go after Carson Wentz. If you want
even Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go after Carson. That's a bad move.
Carson Wentz would only be if you're looking to actually play him, just because he has a lot of his bottom is Zach Wilson, but I think he has a lot more upside than Zach Wilson. Clearly, he's been able to show that. But if you want an actual leader, you're going to go after like Nick Foles, Matt Ryan, Joe Flacco.
The only way Carson Wentz in leadership should be in the same sentence is when you're saying Carson Wentz has a lack of leadership.
Yeah.
Because he is not a leader.
But his talent, I think he has a higher ceiling than Zach Wilson. He does.
I'd say talent-wise, they're both pretty similar.
No, I don't know.
Zach Wilson can sling the hell out of that ball. He's faster. Zach Wilson is a good athlete.
Yeah, but doesn't mean he's a good quarterback.
Is his potential as high as Wentz? Probably at this point, yeah. They're probably about
well, no, but I'm saying is like, we know what you can get out of Wentz. Was at one point a potential MVP quarterback. Like the way he was playing, he has the talent to be that. I don't think Zach Wilson will ever show that. Is what I'm saying. Like Wentz isn't going to show us he's going to be 2017.
Remember once Matt Castle won like 10 games for the Patriots
again that,
and then went to the Chiefs and didn't do anything.
I'm just saying. But then at this point, you need a game manager.
They were going to replace Tom Brady for Matt Castle?
You need a guy that could be a game manager too. You have the running backs that you can run with. You don't need you need like a Jimmy G type quarterback. I don't know why people keep going, you need to go after free agents. Go trade for somebody that's again, big talk, been in camp, has been practicing and playing football and played preseason and has been around at least a playbook.
I got a name I'm going to throw out there. You tell me what you think. We're getting special with this. We're having fun. Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Why don't you get Teddy Bridgewater if Zach Wilson is losing you games because he's turnover prone? Teddy Bridgewater will be conservative with the ball. He's not sexy for fantasy, but he could win. You can win games with Teddy Bridgewater.
You have Jameis Winston, who could easily be a starter in the league still.
If I was an owner, I'd get Jameis. He'd be fun, like fantasy wise. Like get Jameis. Throw Jameis in there.
But the thing is like Jameis. I don't know. Like I was telling you last night. I think at this point Jameis is playing the Ryan Fitzpatrick role. When I do have a chance to play good enough to secure another contract, I don't want the responsibilities as a starter. But like, he is just too talented to be a backup quarterback, and I think maybe he's accepted that he is that. And
did Marcus Mariota sign anywhere?
He's on the Eagles.
Oh, that's right.
You guys can fucking have him. Get the fuck out of here. I do not like Marcus Mariota. Tanner McKee, our third quarterback, is way better. Then you have Gardner Minshew, Jacoby Brissett. Like, you have a bunch of guys that you could go and be like, we'll give you a 6.
And they could be competitive. I think out of everyone right now, with what I saw last year, Jacoby Brissett would be the route that I would go if I did not think Zach Wilson could get it
just done. Go get somebody that's been in camp, that hasn't been just sitting, like, clearly they've been practicing. Carson Wentz has been working out with John Gruden, but there's a difference between a workout and live game action. Then you have noticed, so my work today, the whole cap thing got brought up. And one, notice how the Jets are reaching out, and other throughout the last 7 years, other teams that had quarterback issues or whatever happened, injuries or whatever, those teams always reached out to people, right? Notice with Cap, it's his agents reaching out to the team, like, hey, my guy's ready. It's never, hey, Cap, you can't, one of my coworkers said it best, you can't expect to sue your employer, get a settlement, and then expect your job back. Said it best. Shout out to Dimitri.
Okay. Regardless of what side of the fence you are on Colin Kaepernick, he was talented at one point, but towards the end of his career, if you look at his playing time, he was not good.
No.
He stopped. He started going vegan, lost a lot of weight, and he just didn't play well. He wasn't like he was his rookie year, second year once he took over for Alex Smith. He hasn't played in the NFL for 7 years.
Yeah.
It would be like someone going and like signing like, I don't know, Brett Favre to the league, or someone.
Even though Brett Favre has been slinging the ball the last 7 years on the practice field.
Yeah,
So one thing I also brought up and pointed out is,
Vince Young. It'd be like someone
if
signing.
he really wanted to play football, he would have, and show off his skills, he would have went and played in the XFL, the USFL, or the CFL, just to have the opportunity to play the football, the game that he allegedly loves, and show that, hey, I can still play football at an elite level. Come check me out. Maybe get to a practice squad or like to a training camp or whatever, like Taylor Heineke, like PJ Walker, guys that may not be getting the starting positions in some areas, but they kept going back and forth between the leagues, and they were.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to play.
Exactly.
It is show.
Yep.
It builds the brand that he wants, which whether you agree with that or not, it is what he does. And he makes money doing it.
So the next thing is just kind of going over some of these games. The Lions, Thursday night, Lions, Chiefs.
Impressive win for the Lions.
Yeah. Darius Toney, 4 drops, led to Mahomes' 1 interception. Just, I don't know. Clearly, it's not the most that have happened in a game. And then guys like Mike Evans have had 6. But what goes through your mind, like as a receiver? Just like you keep dropping it, you can't hold on. Is it?
Are you talking to me?
Well, that too. Like I don't know. You probably had spurts where you just couldn't fucking hold on to the ball, but like
that part of football it's very mental game. So like once you're going through your drops and stuff like that, it's usually mental. Like everyone in the NFL has the ability to do a lot of stuff. Some catches that people make, like OBJ and stuff like that, that is just because of freaks of nature. But like a lot of these catches, it comes down to focus and getting out of your head. After you made a big drop or something like that, some players get in their head and it's a mental game, and they're losing the mental game within themselves.
Yeah, I was just so, and everybody made the jokes and memes about him, getting on Patty Mahomes isn't going to throw you the ball anymore.
Yeah.
Teams are trading right away. The Giants, and we're
tweeted some stuff.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And then what I love the most is after the Giants get 40-0 by the Cowboys,
he tweeted.
He made an Instagram post and was like, "Don't stay quiet now" or whatever. Like, oh gosh, I love that.
Kadarius is. I don't know what that team's going to look like.
He has so much upside.
He does. He hasn't shown
up. It has not shown up yet.
No, he's looked good, but
when you have Patty Mahomes at quarterback, come on.
He might be the 2020s version of what was his name, Martavius Bryant. Like that comparison, where you see the flash of potential. And Bryant, to his credit, had close to 1,000-yard season or something. Like that. But you see the potential, and it frustrates you as a fan because injuries and just character possibly with him. I don't know how good his character is or whatever. And just getting on the field and doing stuff. his ability makes him. Kadarius Toney's ability puts him in like the top 5% of talent in the NFL, but he just hasn't put it together, and it's sad because you want to see that. Like he could be, why couldn't he be something short of Tyreek Hill? Why couldn't he be, that talented? Because he is. He is literally Percy Harvin on steroids. Like,
yeah, it sucks to see. I think, despite his 4 drops, nobody really stood out at wide receiver still in that game. Yeah. So they either need
Sky Moore looked bad.
Yeah, everybody did.
The only one that looked good is what? Watson?
Yeah, Watson, and then the tight ends. And everybody's like, oh, they need Travis. Well, the tight ends filled in the Travis role. Maybe not to the reliability, but they were getting downfield, they were getting open, they were getting,
Travis in there would have gone for $120, maybe 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, probably. So. But Mahomes would clearly try to throw it to him more compared to that. But it's not like the other guys failed. Like they didn't have just one catch for 7 yards and be done. Like they were making plays at least. Coming into that, another disappointment here. Shocker, Browns 24-3 against the Bengals. Another team that
was crazy.
Another team that didn't play their starting quarterback, and I know the conditions weren't great, but it was bad. I watched. There's a lot of third and shorts where Mahomes or Burrow was throwing those little fades or whatever.
The Bengals are gonna suck. They're not gonna make the playoffs. Buy all their players low.
Yeah, it just T. Higgins didn't have a single catch. I think it was just so weird.
It was a bad game for him.
Joe Burrow. And doesn't help.
He was injured. They didn't play any preseason.
It didn't help 3 days before or 2 days before he signs the biggest contract in the NFL ever. But they'll come back. Every team's going to lose. It's pretty much week 1 for some of these teams is pretty much their preseason still for them.
Game of preseason. Yeah.
Just because again didn't play. You can't come in like that. Next one, the Broncos lose to the Raiders 16-17, which is funny. Because last year's home opener, they lost to the Seahawks 16-17.
I watched part of that game. It was a really boring game.
Yeah, there was nothing exciting.
How do you think? Do you think Russ looked better?
I think he did. Their line's still not good. I mean, in preseason, I think he was the highest quarterback in one of the highest, if not the highest, at least top 3 on pass attempts. He was still getting pressured 60+% of the time. So. Yeah. It's
Javonte Williams looked okay.
Yeah, their running game will be better. The other one too is you lose Jerry Jeudy right now. He's questionable to come back at least for week 2. So really, the only guy that you have true chemistry with is Cortland Sutton.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah, and then you have Marvin Mims. You have Lil. He threw the touchdown to Lil what's his name? Lil Johnson.
Yeah, he threw a touchdown to Cortland too.
And then. You lose Greg Dulcich, another guy that you've had at least for the last couple of years. You have Trotman.
In the Joker role.
But just a lot of chemistry things still going on with that. So it's gonna be a little struggle.
Sean Payton should be able to turn around.
And again, all 5 new head coaches lost their first game. So it's not like the other ones won and Sean Payton was the only one that couldn't win it. Again, it's still a little process to turn around here. Packers surprises. Jordan Love surprises everyone, and they go and just
whoa. I think this is one that I need to see it a couple more weeks to believe it.
Yeah,
but Jordan Love did look good. I have him in actually my league, so I was so unlucky to end up with Anthony Richardson, which I like, but Desmond Ridder and Jordan Love and Baker Mayfield, and I did make the bold move to start Jordan Love, and it paid out big time.
The Bears' offensive line showed that they're terrible still, and their defense clearly shows that they're not good.
I mean, and granted, Jordan Love looked good because Aaron Jones scored a big touchdown with a lot of rack. So, I mean, that's part of it.
And he didn't have, arguably his number 1 target, Christian Watson. So.
But the first game on a year where it's that important because he's starting for Rodgers, or starting Rodgers left, went to the Jets, got paid, whatever, yada, yada, yada. it's important win for Jordan Love.
Yeah. Next one, the Chargers Dolphins 34-36. Tyreek Hill goes for 215, 2 touchdowns, and 11 catches.
I lost the league because of Tyreek Hill because he just. I got so mad once he scored his last touchdown. I was like, why you got to throw it to him? You ain't got no one else that you can throw a touchdown to.
The Chargers have such a good. They scored 34 points. Your offense is putting up points.
He's not the cheetah anymore. He's the lion.
Yeah. The Chargers offense putting up points. Defense is letting that shit happen. And then, of course, it comes down to crucial time. And I don't know what it is about the Chargers. If they're just the play calling and they have to drive down the field. Like, everything just goes to shit.
I don't think that Justin Herbert is a winner.
It's so
think he's a winner.
Literally half of his wins have been game-winning drives, but in the ones that stand out to you where they should come, they have enough time to do it. They have enough timeouts. Penalties, it's so odd to me. Just everything, literally, their high-powered offense that just drove down the field 5 minutes earlier in 45 seconds can't fucking do anything all of a sudden.
I know people probably give me flack about that, but people give Kirk Cousins so much crap, but I feel like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
At this point,
I'm a big Justin Herbert guy. I think he's a very talented
and
player.
you like Kirk Cousins, right? I'm wearing my Kirk Cousins shirt.
Oh my goodness. We're not, whatever.
They are at this point, yeah.
Yeah, he's an average quarterback. I think his win to loss ratio is now even, flat even. So he's literally the epitome of average. But man, there's just something about that team when it comes down to crucial moments. Everything just breaks down. Offensive penalties, the play calling is just super weird. Nobody can get open. Justin Herbert just can't move the ball. It's so weird that everything, the high-powered offense, just all of a sudden just becomes shit.
Yeah. No.
And then the last one for the news. By the way, we're in quarter 2. We were supposed to have a guest.
It is what it is.
Yeah, whatever. So we are officially in quarter 2. Actually, 10 minutes into quarter 2. And then lastly, the Cowboys just fucking dominating the Giants 40-0.
Dude, won me a league. So I was playing against Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard. Tony had a good game, but it was actually against my cousin in my league. Shout out Dylan. Sorry about that loss, but it is what it is. But what a terrible game. What a terrible game. If I told you Sunday morning that the Cowboys were going to win and score 40 points, you would look at me and you know what you'd say? Oh, I'm going to start everyone on that Cowboys offense. They didn't need to though. But
yeah, Dak didn't even break 150 passing yards, I think. So
yeah.
That defense.
What did I tell you?
Okay, but it's not like the Giants' offensive line is great. Andrew Thomas is good, but he does not look like he's a.
Once I told you that I took the Cowboys defense,
that line is atrocious. That line is atrocious. Let them play a fucking actual line.
Is it legit?
I wouldn't say that yet.
Okay.
That line's atrocious.
We'll see. They play
the Jets. Ooh, get to play the fucking Zach Wilson-led Jets.
Hey,
we will
wait. We will rally around Zach Wilson.
Which also
will play good football.
Which also has a questionable offensive line in the pass protection. So, New York teams are looking kind of shitty right now playing the Cowboys, I think. Michael Parsons is fucking crazy. No. Michael Parsons is not the defense, all right? Fuck you. Yeah.
He is the heart and soul of that defense.
Oh, my goodness. It's him.
He is him. You're right.
Sorry, my wife's texting me. I'm just making sure. She asked if I pulled meat out for dinner. I'm just letting her know I did, all right? I was a good husband. Then lastly, we're going to start doing, now that we have games, players of the week. Players, whatever you want to do, at any level.
Yeah.
So why don't you go ahead with your player of the week?
I have 2. Fuck Tyreek Hill. Fuck Tua.
We expect that from Tyree.
Yeah,
all
we
right?
expect that. I've been pounding the desk all off season. You guys have heard it. We're on our 30th episode. Happier 30th episode. I think we are on 31st, 29th, somewhere around there. Whatever episode we're on. I've been saying it all off season on this podcast. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's our 20th official episode.
Oh, okay. We've
done 6 to 8 unofficial.
Okay, whatever. 20th official episode. But I've been saying Calvin Ridley all year. That dude is the number one, no questions asked. I watched that game. The reason he didn't get more passes was because of game flow. Trevor Lawrence had he threw an interception, I think, and he had a fumble. Weird play with that fumble, but Calvin Ridley, bona fide stud, looks explosive, did everything you need in that offense. I am high on Calvin Ridley. I have him in 2 of my 3 leagues, and I am happy that I have him.
Well, Andy's coming off 500-600 days of not playing competitive football.
Yeah. Oh,
to look like that,
he looked good.
After that long of not playing football is fucking impressive.
And I paired that with another guy that I have. I actually have him in Skinny's league. Watch that game. Breece Hall, man.
Explosive.
Was
not expecting that after the ACL.
17 plays. He played that whole game. 17 plays. Came out with 125 yards. I think it was 25.
Yeah, 27.
127 yards. 20 yards receiving. That dude had 4 rushes over 20 yards.
Should have had a touchdown, but Garrett Wilson's a fucking terrible teammate. Starts celebrating at the 40-yard line instead of taking it.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, you suck.
Should have gotten in the way of that
he
last
would have
defender, and he would have had a
He was gassed, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, but he could have still scored if Garrett Wilson just slows that dude down a little bit.
That's called I'm out of shape.
Unlike Travis Etienne, who's 7 yards behind the receiver, speeds up, catches up to him just so that they could score to block a guy. But yeah, no. Calvin probably wins comeback player of the year if DeMar Hamlin hasn't played yet.
Wait. Is that who I said would win?
No. I'm not done yet. DeMar Hamlin, like I said, if he plays one snap of football, he wins it. But he hasn't played yet. He has not officially played yet. So as of right now, Calvin Ridley could be the front runner as of playing production.
DeMar, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm just saying it right now. That's bullshit.
Dude, if you almost died and came back and played a football game and actually took a snap of football, people would you would be getting oh my God, I can't believe you were doing you're so brave. You would be getting honored or something. I don't know. Whatever. But I know this year is a bullshit. Not to say DeMar's this thing that happened isn't any less sad or tragic, but it's kind of a bullshit award this year. Because Calvin at this pace kind of deserves it.
Yeah.
Just off of 1 week. And then Breece Hall, yeah. Dude, after an ACL, coming back looking that explosive, hits those fucking, gets outside the tackle and just fucking takes off. His, there's a photo that I saw. It was yards after contact chart of all the running backs and stuff. And here's your axis, right? And it was here's your corner from 0. You got everybody snagged it here, and then fucking Breece Hall's all the way, all the way up here, just because he'd get contact and then he'd have those big ass runs, get hit after the line of scrimmage. So my player of the week, I went 1 college and then 1 NFL. Ewers for Texas balled out. He
future Minnesota
stayed content because Bama came back and took the lead at one point, and then after that he went on and scored and kept them in the lead. So being able to beat in Bama and keep your composure and still put up touchdown, keep your offensive going, keep that rhythm going, and it's it didn't even faze him. So he is one of my players of the week. And then my other one is Xavier Gipson, the man, the myth, the punt returner, unrestricted free agent. Love the dude on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I think it's the Hard Knocks bias again. Probably maybe doesn't make the team if Corey Davis doesn't retire, which we were talking about.
Who's the safety that picked off Josh Allen 3 times?
Jordan Whitehead.
I'm sure. I'm surprised it wasn't Jordan Whitehead. He had a hell of a game.
Yeah, he could be up there. He secured his $250,000 incentive already week 1 for 3.
It's a good thing Josh Allen can't read a field.
Yeah, but Xavier Gibson,
he did have
overtime punt return for the win. I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, everybody always like Deshaun Jackson with his punt return. You know, that's a big moment in your career, and probably one of the best in the moment punt returns probably we've ever seen, because it was to win the game. Usually punt return, big punt returns happen during the game. This one is to win the game. So
he has a path too. He has a path to start, I think.
Yeah.
If he keeps progressing and stuff like that, like Randall Cobb, about that retirement age. Alan Lazard.
Well, and was that with Aaron Rodgers? How much is that Randall Cobb even going to see?
Yeah.
He was there primarily for him.
Now, I mean, at this point, you don't know what your team is. Play with what you got.
Exactly. So moving on, since we're technically in quarter 2, this is where I do my sports betting. Last week kind of sucked. The Eagles were the only one to cover for me at the minus 3, technically minus 3.5. When I said the punt, what did it? The Vikings couldn't cover 6, you bastards.
Sorry.
The Bears couldn't cover 1.5, and the Bengals couldn't cover 2.5, and they all got their shit rocked. So this week, I'm feeling a lot more confident. I got the Packers versus the Falcons covering 1.5, which I think is possible if they play like they did and Christian Watson even comes back and Aaron Jones is healthy. That's the other one. Chargers play the Titans. Titans did not look good. No. Derrick Henry barely fucking did anything. Chargers are going to cover 3. I think after that.
Tajay Spears out-snapped Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Crazy. And Tannehill, 3 interceptions.
Yeah. It's
the same as...
the Chargers defense is questionable, but that defense is not going to be able to keep up with the Chargers at all, at least. So, Colts, I have them covering the -1 against the Texans. So, go Colts, I guess. Go Colts. And I have the Dolphins covering -2 against the Pats. The Pats looked atrocious on offense, and the Dolphins' offense is just... You don't think they're going to win by 2?
I do think that
they'll cover 2, exactly.
But what I was saying is I thought the Patriots looked good in the second half. Mac Jones turned it around. I watched that whole game.
Yeah, but we also had injuries on our defensive end at that point, so I'm not too... So at that one, $10 pays $115.90. You can make 10 times the amount of money you put in. Let's hope for a better week. That's all I can say.
Good luck.
Because it was not good.
Fantasy now?
Not yet.
What's next?
We got 5 seconds.
Oh. There we go. We're on to fantasy, my friend. Oh.
We didn't do this after the first quarter, so, yeah. And quarter 3 officially starts. What do you want to start with?
Let me get my bearings about my...
Is your beer that cold or what? Your eyes are so... Dude, your eyes are always so watery after each other.
Dude, I mean... Yeah, they are.
Are you drunk already? You're looking for your beer in the fucking garbage bag?
No, I was seeing how many I drank.
Oh, where are you now?
Yeah. Let's start with players not to worry about. So,
or the official quarter 3, don't overreact in fantasy.
Don't overreact. Alright. So my first one. Josh Allen. Can the man read a field? No. He can't read a field. He threw 3 picks, lost me a lead, had a fumble, All his picks in double coverage, terrible passes. Cannot read. Patty Mahomes would never do that. Tom Brady would never do that. Peyton Manning would never do that. Aaron Rodgers would never do that. Dude cannot read a field. Dude can't do anything, but don't overreact. That's a hard defense. That Bills team is talented.
Didn't play in the preseason.
I look at that game. The Bills should have won that game just off the simple fact of they were getting it done passing, just dinking and dunking the whole time.
Yeah, and then you throw in a double coverage downfield for no reason.
No reason.
That first one, he was like running to his left, had to throw across his body backwards to the middle of the field. He literally looked like he's taking steps back to his first and second year where he just wanted to chuck the fucking ball.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Josh Allen. Fantasy-wise, I don't like him as a quarterback. I never have liked him as a quarterback. I think that he's so boomer busty, and I feel like he's uber talented, like top 3 most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. But to pair that with it, I just feel like he relies on his talent more than he relies on skill. Like
next week he's going to drop 30 fucking points and
probably like 100. I'd be happy. But it's not time to worry about Josh Allen. If anyone is worrying about Josh Allen, he'll bounce back. I think they play. Who'd they play next week?
You have the fucking paper.
I know. I don't have with it. Oh yeah,
just flip it real quick.
Technical difficulties.
It's not a thing.
They're playing Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So they'll bounce back. I think that it'll be a big game for Josh Allen. They're sneak peek. I have them winning. So
yeah. No, I agree. I think week 1 you want to overreact. You want to look at some of these guys, but Josh Allen's been a top 2 or 3 fantasy quarterback.
He'll probably be 1 this year.
Yeah.
I think he was 1 last year.
No, Mahomes was.
Well,
at least in our league he was. No, he was. He had like 415 and Mahomes had like 403. Like it was close.
Yeah.
Which you have to think Allen has the running ability.
Yeah.
So, those type of things.
And the thing about it too is like I was pissed.
Of course you lost.
I needed 16 points, and if he wouldn't have thrown the turnovers, I would have won.
What's best is I literally said, because Skyler was like, "Oh, I had the highest score this week or whatever, or I have the highest score this week," and I was like, "Yeah, until Josh Allen doesn't shit the bed or whatever," and then you were like, "And then he shits the bed." So,
and I was like, if it's gonna happen,
I feel like I can control your teams last year. I had to beat Austin or tie him for you to get in, and now I say that and I speak it into. I'm going to start speaking into existence things about your team and see if
it better be good.
Marcus will not make it to the playoff. Marcus will have a winning record, but not make it to the playoffs.
I don't like this. I don't want to do this. But
no, you're right.
Yeah, but no, Josh Allen will be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Keep him in. He'll be fine. Mine is a quarterback, Joe Burrow. He had 3 points, 86 yards. Didn't play preseason. He is a top quarterback. He's not going to have the fall off like Russ did last year, where he comes in after signing a contract and just doesn't perform. He's going to bounce back. The conditions were not good. It was wet, rainy. Clearly, 86 is not good, but that offense just did not look like they were in the same. I guess the chemistry. Just keep it that simple. There's the chemistry. Everybody. T. Higgins didn't have a catch. Those 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s, where you throw those fades that you typically are going to get to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase weren't falling like they normally do. The offense is going to click. Joe Mixon didn't really play well, and then when you're, I don't know, and it's not like the Browns played very well either. Too, like when you look at it, it was mainly the Browns defense that was rocking them.
I mean, the only touchdown that what's his face had, the Browns quarterback Watson had was a rushing touchdown.
Yeah. And then he had a terrible interception. Like, it's not like that offense was really playing that very well. It's just the defense.
It came to defense.
Yeah.
The Browns have a better defense than the Bengals, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, don't stress about Joe Burrow. He's going to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback by the end of this.
So, to pair that, I have I put the Bengals offense. So
Yeah.
any of them, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. I mean, if you're in a deep enough league to have Tyler Boyd, they'll be fine. That team's going to be explosive. It was shitty weather. Joe Burrow just came off an injury. He hasn't had any snaps in the preseason, hasn't had much of camp. It may take them a week or two, but they'll get back on track.
Yeah, they play the Ravens this week, division rivalry. It's always going to be a close game.
Yeah.
Well, I guess say that with the Browns, but they lost by 21 points. But the Ravens didn't look good either. So it's really better conditions. They have the week to click. They got that one bad game out of them. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
My next one is Terry McLaurin. He only had 2 catches, 5 yards. I'm not saying I think Dotson didn't do much better. I think he had 6.5, 6 points or something. He had more points than Terry McLaurin.
I think he had like 10.
No way.
Maybe 8. Maybe 8.
He had less than 10. I know he had less than 10. I know it was single digits. So it's not like either, despite what was going on, those two had a great game.
Did you watch that whole game?
No, I don't. I mostly watch Red Zone. I just give a shit about touchdowns and scores. I don't give a fuck about games half the time. As much as I would love to.
9.
Okay, yeah. He had under 10. So, Terry McLaurin had 2 catches. Dotson very high on. I think Dotson is Howell's favorite target. You also have to think about Terry McLaurin's probably getting a little bit more attention too with that. But I think Terry McLaurin's fine. He's gonna have. He always was like this the last couple of years, where you had Wentz, you had Heineke, you had Brissett. You've had some questionable guys at quarterback, but he was still a top 20, top 15 wide receiver at the end of the year. I'm not worried.
Yeah. He will bounce back. I just feel like it's starting to make the shift of Dotson will probably take over.
It's almost like so I wouldn't say it's almost like the T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, where both could be a number 1 on a team, but Jamar Chase clearly is the clear-cut number 1, but T. Higgins has the capability, where Terry McLaurin right now, I'd still say is the clear-cut number 1, but Dotson has that capability to take it over.
Yeah.
And if he does, he does, but yeah.
That's all I have for...
Oh, I have one more. Saquon Barkley. Just because of, he had 9 points.
That's a buy low target, really, honestly.
He only had 12 rushing attempts, 3 catches, so 15 total touches. But again, yeah, the defense kind of prevented that from happening.
Yeah.
I don't see the Giants as bad as I hate them. The next time they play the Cowboys, for one, that's not going to happen. And 2, that's not going to happen against any team. They're going to play better. Saquon's going to be implemented a little bit more, I think. 15 touches for a star running back is not acceptable for him.
No, he should at least have 20, 25.
Yeah, I think that will increase. I think just because of the game, at some point you get a lot out of hand. You don't want to put your stars in the position to get injured. All that type of thing. If you wanted to trade him, you could, but I think you keep him. I have him in one of the leagues, and I fully intend to keep starting him.
So I got waiver wire targets. My first one is Puka Nacua.
I guess the other one too is we're releasing this on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So waiver wire's probably already fucking done with.
But if he's there, grab him.
We're gonna start a Twitter to start doing this, so we can do it during the Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Yeah, if he is there,
grab him.
At least for the next 4 weeks.
He looked legit. He played well. Matthew Stafford. I think he's Matthew Stafford's favorite target.
What do you have? 10 catches?
Yeah. I think he had 17.
Yeah, he had
fantasy points.
And he had 11 or 12 targets and 10 catches. He had a very good catchability, catch to target ratio. I don't know what the next person was. Not even near him. He was one of my fantasy guys to break out this year. I had him going over 400 yards, over what he was projected or whatever. But, with Cooper Kupp out, that changes things a little bit differently. And after this game, he could have that in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Clearly his long term kind of depends on Kupp. But if Kupp does come back, he has made his case these next 4 weeks could make his case to be the wide receiver 2 for him. So he could still see a high volume.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I like that. I didn't write anybody down, so
I'll give you my next one.
Yeah.
So my next one is Jake Ferguson. So I actually, if you look at it, he had 8 targets in a game that really wasn't for the Cowboys offense to really do anything because they were just up so big. They're going to run the ball with Tony and just kind of.
Dak even said he loves him as a target.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz was starting to come, last couple of years.
He's someone that in my leagues I have gone out and I have sought for him. He's in your league. He was my number 1 waiver ad because I was like, I need Jake Ferguson.
I know he only had like 3 catches out of the 8 targets or something like that. Which clearly you're going to get it's going to be better. It's going to get better.
I bet 8 targets more than CeeDee Lamb.
Probably. But yeah, and like you think about it, like Dalton Schultz before he left left this year, Dak loved throwing him the ball. Him and I don't remember who their other tight end was, but they got a solid probably 10 to 12 total targets in a game normally.
Yeah.
And I think Ferguson is I think he's probably better than Schultz, just based off of what I've seen, and Dak talks very highly of him. So
yeah. So that he excites me this year for fantasy. My next one is Jordan Love. This one obvious.
Yeah.
I have him in the league. I saw Lil Austin picked him up in your league. He just has potential to really break out this year. Will he be that good? It depends on how deep you are at quarterback. If you have someone that's kind of fringe that you need someone behind him, maybe if you have like a Kirk Cousins
or Mac Jones, maybe over Mac. Well,
100% over Mac Jones.
Well, give it another game or so. Mac Jones. Again, you said he had a good game against the Eagles. He figured it out. I think I trust him a little bit more just because he's been in the league. But give it like another game or two and just kind of see, Mac Jones, Jimmy G even.
My league is super deep.
Yeah.
My league
we're a 2 quarterback league, so.
Well, and 3 wide receivers, 2 flexes, like that is a deep league. That is like a league that you need to know what you're doing in, or else you're gonna be shit on in that league. So, like Jordan Love, I'm starting him. I'm starting him this week over Baker, which, I might be starting Baker, but still, he's someone that I consider, a starter in a 2 quarterback league. So,
yeah. You have any more waiver wires?
I do.
All right, next one.
I have Kyron Williams.
Oh yeah.
I like him over
Akers.
Yeah. He was doing all the passing. I think it's going to be committee. I think it's going to be pretty 50-50. But
coming into the season, it was Cam Akers the guy. And then this week 1 did not show that. It was like the opposite. Cam Akers was not very productive when he had the touches. And guess who was?
So last year, Adam Shepard said that Kyron Williams was the running back to have. And then he got hurt and he was out for most of the season. He's like, that's the running back you want on the Rams. I agree. He looked better than Akers.
Oh, yeah.
But we always say that, and then Sean McVay's like, we will rally around Cam Akers, and we will play good football.
Because that happened at the end of the last year, too, after the whole, I'm not getting playing time.
And he won some people some championships because he played really well.
I picked him up, and he was a very big process to me getting into the playoffs and making it. I got third, but still, if I didn't have him, I probably don't make the playoffs.
I had no business finishing first, and you had no business finishing third.
Yeah,
because we had a rough year last year.
Yeah. So waiver guy I just thought of. I know we talked about him earlier, but Allen Robinson.
Nope. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. If he's still there, go get him. With Deontay with his hamstring, because Deontay dealt with the hamstring last year too. Hamstring issues, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
They're long lasting. Even though you may feel good, you're gonna.
As soon as you get to that game speed,
pull
it. You're done.
So, Allen Robinson, I think will have a good season. Mm-hmm. Pick him up. Wide receiver 3 at this point, flex option. Just throw him in there. They're gonna throw the ball. They're gonna have to throw the ball against a lot of, that divisional opponents, and when you're going against George Pickens, who George Pickens is good, but George Pickens is not showing he's no Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase number one. Allen Robinson could kind of come in and almost be the number one target guy.
Oh yeah.
So
especially with Pat Fryer.
Yeah, Fryer move potentially out, and I'm pretty sure Allen Robinson's bigger than George Pickens. I could be wrong.
I don't know how big. I feel like he's like 6'2".
Yeah,
but I don't know.
But he's a 50-50 guy, so
he was a good player. He had a really good career in the NFL.
So yeah, go pick up Allen Robinson.
My last one, Tyler Algier.
Oh yeah.
In my league, or no, in your league, I'm considering starting Algier and Bijan. Now, do I do it? I don't know, but I don't know what that field's going to look like. I feel like they're going to run the piss out of the ball.
Yeah, it shocks me. You draft a guy number 8 overall, and then you still split it. Not even 60-40, not 75-25. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
And
obviously Bijan looks way better.
Yeah, clearly.
Bijan is everything you wanted out of him.
Maybe first game, all right, maybe we're just going to, not give him everything, I guess. But I'm pretty sure Algier had all of the, inside the 5-line snaps, didn't he?
He had goal lines,
yeah.
which I wasn't happy about. Yeah. But Bijan had all of the receiving game. He had all that.
Yeah, it just maybe it changes. But yeah, as of right now, with a team that just wants to run the fuck out of the ball, where you have guys like Drake London who had 0 fucking catches and 90% of the snaps, 0 catches, you're gonna want to get the running backs on the team. So Tyler Algier probably got drafted in plenty of leagues. Maybe got overlooked. Again, we're releasing this on a Thursday, so you probably have these people already picked up. But yeah, definitely in a Arthur Smith offense, go get the running backs.
Yeah. The next thing I did is early trade targets. So I have sell high and buy low. I sell high, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this Bucks team is going to look like. It was a very good matchup against the Vikings. Mike Evans had, a pretty decent game. He scored a touchdown or whatever.
Well, you don't know where he's going to be at by week 8. And if he is traded by week 8, he's probably going to go to a team that needs a receiver, which at that point, his value is still good. Team that needs a receiver, still good value.
My next one is Justice Hill. I looked at it. I don't want any part of this offense or any part of that run game in Baltimore. JK's out. You got Justice Hill. You got Gus Edwards. I feel like they are going to eat in each other's production, and no one is going to be startable.
Well, and again, you might bring in Melvin Gordon. That's on the practice squad. They had a 4th guy. I can't think of who that 4th guy was off the top, just looking at their roster. But you're going to have potentially JK was going to take 60 to 70% of the snaps. Now it's going to turn into 30, the 33s potentially split, and you have Lamar who's going to run too.
Yeah. My next guy I had on there is actually Zay Flowers. I think he looks legit, but what is that offense going to be? Lamar didn't look good passing the ball. Odell Beckham, they paid him legit money. Are they going to try to get him more involved?
Yeah, because he had 2 catches.
Yeah.
He's making $18 million to get 2 catches.
I feel like they're going to use it more. Mark Andrews got hurt. Did he play? No, he got hurt?
No.
That's what I thought.
So you don't have Mark Andrews. Zay Flowers at one point had 5 straight targets.
Yeah.
He was getting through, but you had Mark Andrews back. You try to get over, because Odell is going to want his touches. He's whatever, I'm making $18 million, 15, whatever he's making. But as a team, you're going to want to get him involved.
You know who else I threw in there? Tyler Algier. If you can get peak value from him, if you can get an RB2, RB3 from him, or anything that you can throw on your roster, do it. Because I don't know what this Falcon team is going to look like. Could he have a big role? He probably will have a decent role, but Bijan is number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Bijan is the alpha in that offense. He is what they're going to run their plays through. Receiving-wise, 6 targets, 6 catches, something like that. that touchdown. Bijan looked legit.
More than every other wide receiver on the team, pretty much. Oh my gosh.
And then my buy lows, T. Higgins. I feel like if you can make a case about, T isn't going to be
I'll
good.
give you Sam Laporta for T. Higgins.
Darren Waller.
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me a little bit. I get the issue with the how bad that offense and everything looked, but it took till the third or fourth quarter for a wide receiver to have a catch. But he was the only one with a catch. Like besides Barkley, him, he was getting all the catches because it was quick, short routes for him.
Yeah, I think that he will be the number one target in that team. And my last one is Swift.
Yeah, we'll get into that with the upcoming news, but it shocked me. It really did.
Yeah, he only played 17 snaps
and had 2 touches.
Yep. Stupid. Eagles don't make any sense.
You trade for him and give it again. It reminds me of last year at the beginning of the season with Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
you have him. He has 1 rush attempt in the first half. Like you're not giving him the ball. Miles Sanders still broke 1,000 yards on the season rushing, but you're going with Kenneth Gainwell. I get it. Kenneth Gainwell isn't a bad running back, clearly.
No,
but you trade for Swift for a reason. And then you just don't fucking use him. And then you come out after the game, we need to use him more. Clearly, where the fuck was that in your head when you're in the middle of the game? Whatever. So, I know we need to...
We gotta do it.
No. We have week 2 likes and dislikes.
Oh,
well, I guess you can agree or not agree with me. Yeah. So, week 2 likes, Nick Chubb versus the Pittsburgh defense. Cam Hayward might be out. CMC just put up 150 rushing yards on him. And Nick Chubb is a better runner than CMC is.
Sure, I'll say I like it.
Fantasy-wise, I like it.
Okay.
Keenan Allen versus Tennessee. He had 9 targets week 1.
Oh, 100% like it.
And Carr put over 300 yards on that defense. So Justin Herbert's going to sling the ball. And 9 targets week 1.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And then my other one was the Hawkinson versus the Eagles.
I don't know what this Vikings offense is made of right now.
So the reason why I like it is linebacker out. Nakobe Dean's going to be out.
Yeah,
our safety's out. And Hunter Henry put up 50-plus yards on us. I think
Hunter Henry was looked at as a legitimate tight end one.
But Hawkinson's way better. And with missing Dean, I think that takes a huge, heavy impact on our linebacker position. Hawkinson's going to be... We might also not have Bradbury, too. Yeah. Hawkinson's going to have a pretty good fantasy day.
Oh, sure. I agree.
Dislikes, all right?
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert.
Versus...
the Bucks.
100%, yeah.
Bucks defense was top 15 against the run the last couple of years. He only had 1 more touch than Roschon Johnson in week 1.
Roschon's legit, though.
Yeah, so that, a little scary.
Deontay Foreman didn't do as much as I thought he would either.
So it was just weird that Roschon and him, Khalil Herbert kind of was their guy, and then he only has 1 more touch. Yeah. And then I do not like Dak against the Jets defense.
That's a hard one. I feel like they're going to have to... That game is going to force them to do more, but...
Yeah. He only had less than 150 passing yards in the blowout against the Giants. But this is a way better defense. He's going to have to do more. And when you ask Dak to do more, it doesn't always pan out.
Yeah.
And then opposite of that is I don't like Garrett Wilson versus the Cowboys defense. You have Stephon Gilmore and Diggs.
What a disappointment with Garrett Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Just the pressure from that Cowboys. The Jets defense or offensive line is not much better than the Giants offensive line, I'd say. Or it's pretty close to the same.
Bad, yeah.
That Cowboys defense, we saw what they did to the Giants offensive line. they're about to do that to the Jets offensive line, and Zach Wilson's not going to be able to get the fucking ball out. So Garrett Wilson this week, I'd be very skeptical on.
Good trade target, though, if you can.
Brooke!
Brooke, give me a trade.
I'll, Dalton Kincaid. All right, that the ends of quarter 3.
I'll drink to that, brother.
All right, quarter 4, baby. Upcoming stuff.
Pick'ems.
Well, first we got to talk about college upcoming.
Oh, who cares?
Fuck you. It's football, you bitch.
It's football.
So no top 25 matchups this week. It's all like fucking bullshit. Like top 25 teams play teams that they're going to beat by 30 plus points. Or there's a couple like closer ones, but number 25 Iowa, ranked again. Finally, should have never been unranked. Plays Western Michigan. Iowa's favored by 28.5. I'm hitting the fucking under on that. I think Western Michigan covers. Neither team has put up over 25 points this year. So, not gonna happen. There's a whole thing about Iowa football right now. There's like a mountain climb for the offense to reach like 325 total points in the season, and let's just say he is behind. They're behind track on scoring that 325 because you got to put up like a certain amount every week, to get that. 28.5. If Iowa can't even score 25 fucking points against any team, there's no fucking way.
So you're saying it's not the same West Virginia as Geno Smith and Tavon Austin?
Western Michigan?
Oh, I thought you said West Virginia.
No, Western Michigan.
Oh, really?
And then Iowa State plays Ohio. IOSU's favored by 2.5. Yay! Go State.
Go State.
All right, no, but now for real. Pick'ems. I did not do good last week. I went 7 for 9.
So what did I do? I don't even know.
I don't know. Start fucking keeping track. I kept track of mine.
I guess I need to keep track of them.
Jeez, just terrible.
I'm a terrible host.
All right, let me get mine pulled up here.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
Minnesota versus Philadelphia.
No, I wanted to save that one for last since you're...
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll Thursday night we'll do last just because Marcus is a Viking fan. I'm an Eagles fan. Where the fuck
Green Bay versus Atlanta.
Hold on, I'm trying to find my...
Pick'ems sheet. Should I start mine? Do you want me to start it out?
Yeah, go ahead. I found it.
All right. Green Bay versus Atlanta. Taking Atlanta.
I took Green Bay.
Did you? I think that Atlanta is going to run the piss out of the ball. I think Desmond Ridder, to me, looked like he was serviceable to be a good game manager, and he can run. I don't think that this team is going to involve Kyle Pitts or Drake London a ton anyway. I think they're going to be decoys, which Arthur Smith loves, I guess, but Bijan and I think Tyler Algier. I think that's going to be a big game for them.
I chose Green Bay just because their defense actually looked very good, which it's not like they have a bad defense, but Aaron Jones healthy, actually plays. Christian Watson comes back. Jordan Love just adds to his targets with that. At this point, I don't think Jordan Love is actually going to be a bad quarterback. I mean, preseason he looked pretty good.
I said
Week
that
1 he looked good. He's not gonna be top 10 right away, clearly, but he's gonna be a top 20 quarterback, I think, at this rate.
Packers don't draft bad starting quarterbacks,
and I think that offense. I think the defense is better than the Falcons, and then I think their offense with Love maybe not puts up the same play or whatever the fuck he did against the Bears, you want to call it. Even as long as he keeps it content, no turnovers, I think they'll be able to edge out. Edge out the Falcons there.
I think the Falcons are legit.
I still don't.
I think that they could win the division. I really do. I feel like that Arthur Smith is a good coach.
Until they can show that they can fucking throw the ball, I'm counting them out on anything. Because the Tennessee Titans are a prime example of that. Bijan's no Derrick Henry. As much as I like Bijan, he's no Derrick Henry.
You're right. He's more talented.
And their defense is nowhere near what Titans' defense used to be. Unless you have that type of formula going on. I don't like the Falcons not being able to throw the ball.
Las Vegas versus Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo, man. Buffalo's going to come back. Josh Allen's going to throw 5 touchdowns, rush for a touchdown, have 70 yards.
I'm going over 340 yards passing.
If Josh Allen doesn't, I made the worst mistake in my life drafting him.
Jimmy,
well,
you know what would be hilarious? Jimmy G outbattles Josh Allen.
They can battle each other as long as Josh Allen has.
Devontae is questionable with a foot injury. He'll probably play, but Jacoby Myers is in concussion protocol.
Is he really?
Or maybe not concussion, but he was questionable. He's listed as questionable. Something's going on.
Jacoby Myers had a good game.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Like if you could go get him from somebody potentially, go do that. Because Hunter Renfrow, Dunzo.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have the Bills. There's just no way that they lose. They were in the game the whole time. They lost an OT, which is funny to me still. Because maybe if we had a chance in OT, we'd win. Years ago, and then they. I think I saw a stat that ever since that bitching about the OT rules, ever since they've been in OT, they've lost in every OT game. That's so funny. But yeah, I think Josh Allen just shits on them. That defense is not good.
For my fantasy sake in your league, Josh Allen, please do something.
Well, and Stefan's been verbal about.
Stefan looked good too.
Yeah, he's verbal about when they lose, and when Josh Allen plays like shit, he is not happy. And Josh Allen played like shit. Like you could see it on his face on that game when they cut to him after one of those picks. He was fucking pissed.
Diggs. Yeah.
So there's some shit going on there. And Gabe Davis looked good. James Cook looked good. The Raiders
Kincaid looked good.
Yeah. The Raiders do not have a defense.
No.
So.
Baltimore versus Cincy. I got Baltimore.
This one was tough for me, just because both teams look like hot garbage. I ended up going Cincy just for the fact of I don't think Joe Burrow loses 2 games in a row.
I wanted to go Cincy. I took Baltimore because fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
what is this? What does these weekly pick'ems even get us? We're just.
Let's see Baltimore win it. I don't care.
So Joe Burrow go 0-2 to start the season, then go 15 out. I need him to
do that. Yeah, better hit it.
But yeah, I had Cincy. I like this one was tough for me again. Just does Baltimore go 1-1? Do they go 2-0? I just don't see Cincy.
I think that Baltimore is going to go 2-0, and I think Cincy's going to catch up at the end. Yep.
Yeah, they very well could be.
Detroit versus Seattle. Who do you have?
1, 2, 3,
Detroit.
Yeah. All right. I felt like this was going to be one of those ones where you're just like, Seattle, just because they had a bad start against the Rams and
No, I think Detroit. No, Detroit's legit. I don't want them to win the division. It looks like they're going to win the division. Week 1, don't overreact. But right now, the Vikings are going to more than likely go 0-2.
Dude, I love that they have Sauce Gardner.
Quincy Gardner?
No, Sauce Gardner. The safety?
That's Quincy Gardner Johnson.
Or Sauce Gardner. No, Gardner Johnson. God, why do I fucking say Sauce Gardner?
It's Quincy Gardner Johnson, right? No, wait. What's his fucking first name? Gardner Johnson. Now you're fucking me up.
Dude.
He used to play for the Eagles.
Yes. CJ Gardner Johnson.
CJ, okay.
Why do I always say Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner Johnson.
No, fucking, I'm so jealous that they have him. He looked fucking fantastic in that Thursday night game.
Yeah.
He's a fucking animal. I like him.
Brian Branch, too. That defense, yeah.
Yeah, the safety. I wanted Brian Branch on the Eagles. When Gardner Johnson left. I was like, fuck, we need a safety now. Let's go get Brian Branch. They both look fucking stellar. And I honestly thought after losing like Jeff Okuda and stuff, their DB was gonna be bad. It was pretty good against.
It's legit. I hate to say it, Lions fans, you're welcome. I hate you, but you're legit.
Well, and Aiden Hutchinson was getting to Patty Mahomes. He couldn't finish off with the sack, but he was getting there.
Yeah, pressures matter. LA versus Tennessee.
Ooh, I gotta pull back
up. Are we gonna do 1, 2, 3?
No, because I know you said the Chargers.
Oh yeah, 100%. Why would Tennessee win that? The Chargers are gonna come back and win it.
Yeah, Tennessee just again. For some reason in a close game, you limit your best players' touches, and then your defense was not stellar at all.
Tennessee, you wasted your picks on 2 quarterbacks, Malik Willis and what's his nuts. Total waste because
when you could have had guys like Jalen Carter.
Well, second, they're both like second, third round picks. Malik Willis and
true. Sorry.
Will Levis,
second round picks. Yeah, still Brian Branch, Joey Porter Jr.
They're gonna beat them. Tampa versus Chicago.
I took Tampa.
I took Tampa too.
After watching Baker not give a fuck against the Vikings, the Vikings defense is better. The Bucks have a way better defense.
Chicago's not that good.
They're not there yet.
Here's the thing, and here's why I didn't take any Justin Fields this year. I felt like the pressure was too high on him.
Look at that that's the perfect pull right there.
Whatever.
Phone right at the top. Mr. Justin Fields is so good.
I like Justin Fields.
I don't know why you didn't.
Why didn't I take him? I could have drafted him. But here's the reason why I didn't. Value. Would you rather have Josh Allen or Justin Fields?
Josh Allen.
Would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields?
Fantasy? Justin Fields.
I think Trevor Lawrence is safer than Justin Fields.
Safer, yes. Upside, fantasy-wise. Mr. Justin Fields' fantasy value is so high and so crazy. He's going to be so good. He's going to be ranked higher than... I guarantee
some people say Justin Fields is the best.
If we go back, 100% this man has Trevor Lawrence rated under Justin Fields in the fantasy projections.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me tell you.
Can't take it back now.
Once it came to it, Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I took Trevor Lawrence.
Kansas City versus Jacksonville.
I took Jacksonville.
I took KC. I told you once. I will tell you twice. I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, Jacksonville looked good at all cylinders. Josh Allen, the linebacker, is gonna.
Oh, that Josh Allen.
Yeah, that Josh Allen. I like it. Even though you bring back Chris Jones and potentially Travis Kelce, I'm high on the Jags this year. I think they're the number 2 runaway in terms of AFC besides the Bengals, but Bengals are making me scared now. But I think Doug Peterson's a winning coach. I know Andy Reid is too, but I just don't think the Chiefs still have it.
I do.
They'll still be a playoff team, but
I do. Houston versus Indianapolis. You obviously took Indianapolis.
Yeah, I took the Colts.
I took the Houston Texans. Who's their head coach? Is it D'Amico Ryan?
Yeah.
I just feel like this is a really solidly coached team. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Lions a couple of years ago. Like, they're not great, but I feel
They're
like
gritty.
They're gritty. They're very gritty.
They play hard.
And I feel like that team plays hard, and I feel like The Colts just don't have what it takes to beat them.
When I was watching, because I had them, I made another bet. I made a lot of bets this week, and they all look good for a while. But but the Houston Texans, I had them covered the 9.5 because they always play very hard, good football, and then the Ravens fucking took the game away. The reason I went to Colts is I'm high on the Jags, and the Colts were able to keep that game very competitive for the whole time.
I don't know if the Jags have that great of a defense.
Yeah, it's not that great, but the Texans' defense that great?
No, but they play hard. They're gonna play.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about defense too, Skinny. A lot of defenses playing hard, effort, and you know that camaraderie. Like I feel like it's a very it's a very how well you're playing, like your team camaraderie, all that stuff. I feel like that really plays into how defenses play. So
the other thing too is Shaq Leonard has a game finally under his belt after being injured all last season, and that other linebacker was fucking phenomenal. I think with those two in that pass rush, the Texans are going to be like, what the fuck? It'll be a close game. I mean, it's a 1-point game, but I think Anthony Richards showed that he could play, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I still don't like any of the... Out of all the rookie quarterbacks, I like Anthony Richardson, so...
Yeah. So I got San Francisco versus the Rams. I took the Rams. Oh, I'm just kidding. I took the San Francisco 49ers. Because the San Francisco 49ers are going to beat the shit out of the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be a game.
No. Brock Purdy, still on that fucking train. At this point, I don't think he's on that.
Regular season, what is he, 9-0? I don't think he took a loss in the regular season.
No, he lost in the... Yeah, they finished the season 12 on a 12-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then he lost in the NFC Championship. So yeah, he's 9-0 or 9-1 or whatever the fuck.
Skinny at his wedding told me Brock Purdy was going to be legit. He was right.
Dude, I said Brock Purdy could be an NFL starting quarterback, and everybody was like, what was it, his junior year? Senior. I don't remember. There was a Heisman watch, at the beginning of the college football season. I was like, why is Brock Purdy not up there? Brock Purdy's not good. People were like, Brock Purdy's not good. I'm like, he's literally going to go and be an NFL quarterback. He's good.
You did say that.
Again, I'm 2 for 2 on quarterbacks.
Yep.
I'm just kind of shocked that he's still playing at the high level that he has, though. I felt like there would be at least a little bit of a drop, but there really hasn't. There has not been a single fucking drop off of him yet.
How do you not play high level at San Francisco 49ers offense?
He looks so much better than what Jimmy G did in that offense, is what I'm saying. It just looks so much better. It looks so much... There's just something about it. I saw a thing on Twitter. Again, I follow Twitter. I will follow Twitter a lot when it comes to the sports. And that's why I think we are finally getting into it, is there was a thing that was I don't know if Kyle Shanahan really said this, but it was when Jimmy G at this team was an emoji. There was an emoji with it, but his face was ooh, it's nice. It's the mild nice. Ooh, you like it, it's good. And then it's Brock Purdy behind this. It's oh, you're so fucking excited. It's just so much better.
He's easy to coach for, or easy to root for. I feel like he's a very coachable player. He's what Kyle Shanahan wants.
Well, the other one too is being Mr. Irrelevant. You throw for 100 yards, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, you did it." But yeah, he's done very well, making some tight passes. I mean, Pat P. I have the reads. I'm gonna intercept him, and then he goes and says, "Isn't the second touchdown I threw on Pat P?" I love that shit.
I love the we'll see. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. To move on, New York versus Arizona Cardinals.
I have the Giants.
I do too.
Brian Daboll is going to be like, all right, we just got shit on 40-0, so we got to go shit on somebody 40-0. The Cardinals were competitive against the Commanders. Not saying the Commanders were a pretty decent team, but there's no way in hell that Daboll's letting that 40-0 lot. I would hate to be a New York Giant this week at practice and just in the room. They're going to go in and just fucking lay the beat down on Arizona because
they're going to lay the pipe on the Cardinals.
That's gay.
They're going to, though.
Because they're going to lay the pipe on men. That's gay. You don't do that.
They're going to.
Yeah. I would say they're going to beat the shit out of. I feel like that's a little bit better.
The Jets versus the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys.
If Aaron Rodgers is playing, it'd be a little bit different of a story. But with Zach Wilson, I'm taking the Cowboys. Sadly. As much as I don't want to.
Washington versus Denver. I have Denver.
Oh yeah, Washington? I'm high on Russell Wilson this year. I took Denver.
I could see Washington win that game, but I feel like Denver. It'll be a close game.
Well, you have to think about Sam Howell didn't play spectacular against the Arizona Cardinals defense, who traded away some other shit. Denver Broncos defense is a lot better.
I think it'll be a closer game than we think it will be. Too.
It'll be so close. I think the other one, too, is Sean Payton's kind of getting back into it, and Russ is going through his third different head coach in 3 seasons. And, clearly Seahawks, Denver. But, and again, the other one, too, is fuck you. The other one, too, is Jerry Jeudy going to be there? Are you going to have your true number 2? So...
Or 1.
Cortland Sutton's fucking 1. Shut the fuck up.
I think Judy's 1. I really do think Judy's 1.
He could be, but Cortland Sutton is.
I think he's 1.
Cortland Sutton is.
Last year he was 1.
Cortland Sutton is Mr. Reliable. All right.
We'll see. Miami versus New England. I have Miami.
Yeah, it's in Miami. Even though that New England defense looked very good against an Eagles offensive line that was spectacular last year. Mm-hmm. Miami's offense just looks way too good.
Yeah,
and the Pats don't move the ball. Like
that Tua Tyreek Hill connection is legit.
And then there's Jalen Waddle. Like you literally have a lesser version, literally a point. Like if Tyreek Hill was 10. You have a 9 in terms of Jalen Waddle of likeness like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Literally just a step below.
Monday Night Football, New Orleans versus Carolina.
I took New Orleans.
Took Carolina.
I don't like the rookie quarterbacks. Besides they are.
That offense didn't look good. I feel like they're going to try to protect Bryce Young a little bit more. And I feel like that defense is going to play good. I have never been a Derek Carr guy. I never will be a Derek Carr guy. I feel like
J.C. Horn's out.
Yeah.
Their number 1 DB is out. Raheed Shaheed.
Brian Burns going to eat.
Raheed Shaheed, whatever the fuck his name is. Chris Olave. Michael Thomas actually looked pretty decent too.
Yeah.
They're going to fucking eat.
We'll see.
Derek Carr threw for over 300 yards against the Titans. I think he can do it against the Panthers, too.
We'll see. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. Who'd you take?
The Browns.
I took Cleveland. Or I did not take Cleveland.
Oh.
I took the Steelers. Shout out to Austin. I think they're going to have a comeback.
Fuck the Steelers.
I feel like it's a winnable game for them.
I think every game's a winnable game for them when they come in. I think both teams get their shit figured out a little bit better because, again, like I said, even though they put up 24 points, the Browns did not look good. But I think they look even better. The Steelers worry me because, yeah, you have George Pickens and you come back around, but you lose Deontay and you're potentially losing Freiermuth. That is huge. And you couldn't fucking run the ball. And
they'll be able to run the ball.
Better. But the Browns' defense is still good.
It is, but it's not. It's not.
And you lose Freiermuth and Deontay Johnson potentially. That's a huge impact where you're kind of like, who's that third target for him now when you have Pickens and Robinson? Kind of worries me just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then lastly,
Minnesota versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
In
Philly.
The good old Lincoln.
I'm going to give you guys a bold take right now. Minnesota's going to go in there. They're going to fucking suck shit in Philadelphia. Kill them. Because you want to know why? Minnesota, you look at the defenses that kill Minnesota, they have a good defensive line. You know, the Eagles have the best defensive line in the NFL. If Minnesota wins this game, I'll drink from that. I'll shotgun a beer. I'll do whatever I need to do because
I'll drink out of the fucking horse.
Oh, you will never hear the end of it. But we should win that game. We should win that game.
No. What surprised me was the Eagles are favored by 7 fucking points. It's like 7 or 7.5, and I'm just like, that's a lot to be going up against a playoff caliber team. Like, it should not be within 7. You know, like, it just, the way the Eagles played, the way the Vikings played, I feel like it would be like 3, 4, 5.
Vikings are going to have a hard time if they start out 0-2.
Yeah, it's a very big uphill battle.
Yeah. They don't have an easiest schedule. So
as a biased Eagles fan, I have the Eagles winning it too. I just don't think. Clearly, we struggle. The environment again in the Lincoln tomorrow night. I looked up to see the weather. It's going to be a nice 70 degrees during the day, so 50s, 60s by the time they kick off, and open. No rain, nothing. So, I'm excited. I am expecting.
I'm sure you are.
I'm expecting. I'm expecting a way better game for both teams. Honestly.
I have seen Kirk Cousins on primetime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love Kirk. I'm wearing Kirk's shirt, man.
You know who you call for a Thursday night game? Carson Wentz. He's undefeated. He's like 6-0 on Thursday.
I'm going to call for. We never talk about Carson Wentz on this podcast again,
bro. We have his fucking doll up here. Actually,
you.
No, fuck you. It's ours together combined.
We are a collective.
That right there. You take it out of the box, it breaks, right? So
I will never do it.
No, I think it'll be a lot more competitive than what you fucking think it will be.
Dude, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. Like I am a pessimist once it comes to it.
Do you know that you guys don't have your starting center this week?
Yeah, Garrett Bradbury got fucked up. Yeah, I know.
Is that why you're a little more afraid now?
You know what? As a Vikings fan, I'm really, really, really embarrassed to say this, but I thought Lewis Chine, that's what his name is, I thought it was Klein.
Oh my goodness.
I did. Someone.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody calls him Kelsey, but it's really Kels, I guess. But their dad changed it.
You know, it's like me. My last name is supposed to be Mare High, but it's Mary.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. You know, potato.
Lampier. Some people say Lampier.
Yeah, but
Meyer. Some people say.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you can't. There's no L. I legitimately thought it was Lewis Klein. I didn't know it was Lewis Kine. Kine? That's a stupid name. Stupid fucking name.
I think it's a decent name.
Klein is way better, man. Way better. Way better.
Kine gets you out of there. You know, like it's like, hey, something different. But the Eagles potentially are out James Bradbury, so
yeah. You know what? Kirk Cousins is gonna go in there and he's gonna fuck the Eagles up.
Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean, never heard of him. Linebacker, not even a thing. We're going to kill him.
You never heard of Nakobe Dean?
He's not that good.
Are you serious? For the dude that knows all these football players, you really don't know who Nakobe
I know who he is. I know.
And then fucking our safety, Blankenship, he might be out too.
Blankenship?
Yeah. He was a white boy. He was a rookie last year.
I actually don't know what that is.
So now we're going to be playing our Illinois safety that we drafted rookie. So
As Iowans, I don't like Illinois.
So there's potential for the Vikings to.
You know, I changed mine. Minnesota's going to come in there. They're going to kick the shit out of the Eagles. I'm thinking like 35-17. That's what I'm saying. That'd be crazy.
No, we went into the Minnesota Vikings house and beat them 30.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay, Nick Foles.
What was it? 34-7, 35? All right,
talking about
before I get Marcus all riled up because his Vikings.
I'm pissed. I'm fucking pissed. Bullshit.
Someone's drunk.
Not that drunk.
I'm not that drunk. We'll leave it at that. Enjoy your week 2 NFL season, week 3 college football season, and we'll see you next week.
Remember, friends, like and subscribe.